In this world today, you got to be a soldier. You really got to be strong, and you have to have the mind and the clarity to see the world around you for what it really is. And we understand that this world is it's some type of hellish, sadistic, shadow, oblivion prison, and it's just designed to break us. And once you see that, you see the world for what it really is, and you start to see all the disasters, all the negative events in your life. It almost seems orchestrated and coordinated. And that's a scary thing because if we really wanted to accomplish something in life, if we really wanted to be successful, and just knowing that there's something that could be stopping that for whatever reason, for whatever direction that it wants to go. And it just sucks because the things that are outside our control, that seems to be the most important. That seems to be the most vital, such as controlling how you look like, controlling what family you'll be born into. Things like that are outside your control. And little things that are within your control are just so controlled, So it's like, do you want to go to McDonald's or do you want to go to Burger King? Both of them are like, contain chemical compositions that are basically slow poisons that enter your body and extremely difficult to get outside your body. And some of these toxins, they slowly build up over a period of time, and then cancer causing cells develop, and disaster happens. It's why even at my old age, man, I have to watch what I eat, but at the same time, I just feel like F it, because if things are meant to be, it's meant to be. Yeah, people that they've like became vegetarian or whatever, and they still got cancer, or they still got something, or they got in a car accident and something bad happened. They went scuba diving and their scuba diving tank messed up and something bad happened, or they went on a safari and got attacked by a lion or whatever. It's just different scenarios, and it doesn't matter like how good you are or how bad you are. This world, it runs on a totally different system that the demiurge created and integrated and established over us. You know, it runs on negative energetic manifestational frequency. It's called loosh. And I have to say that because how YouTube does videos is every single time you make a video, it pushes it out to a new audience. So it's crazy, right? So it's like certain things I got to repeat because it's like I'm trying to jam it in people's mind, let them understand what negative energetic manifestational frequency is. It's exactly what it is. It's things that make you angry, things that make you sad. Like, have you ever been having a good time or a good day, and then something comes out of nowhere, something comes out of left field, and it just destroys your entire day. It brings your emotions down, and it sucks when you're a guy like this in this position because when you go years without, just proper love and, a relationship with a female, that does something to a man's mind. When you go years without that, when you go years without the physical touch, when you just touch starved, when you're just inside an emotionally drained state where you just feel down and out, you feel defeated, and you are defeated. And just because you can't have a girl in your life, like, see, people think it's just as simple as, oh, you just want a girlfriend, or just go, go to like a brothel or something like that. It's like, it's not simple like that. It's deeper than just the physical or sexual alleviation. Of course, that's nice. It's the emotional connectivity. It's the hugging, the kissing, the cuddling. It's the babe, I love you in the morning. It's the she's getting up and she gets up early while you're sleeping. You smell something cooking and she's making you breakfast. You know, she's handing you your lunch as you walk out the door to work. You know, stuff like that, little stuff like that make you feel like you're loved and you're wanted and you're accepted. That does something to a man's emotional capacity and emotional mind. It matters if you go years without engaging with a female at all. A lot of us in this position, we haven't had time to really develop our sex lives or develop our emotional love lives or nothing like that, because we've been trapped by psychological degradations and ramifications of that. We've been trapped by economic just deprivement. We've been working at jobs that don't pay, or we've been unemployed for a while trying to find a job. And it's so hard out here. It's brutal, it's stressful, it's relentless, it's vicious, it's sadistic. It's a battlefield, it's a war zone, and we gotta be strong. But sometimes, we need a little loving. It's not good for a man to be alone, man. It's not good to go years without having a girl in your life, because it lowers your confidence and it lowers your achievements and it lowers your belief in yourself, as crazy as that sounds. I know some people will say, oh, but you don't need a girl to feel confident or to feel happy about yourself. You can just feel happy about yourself by yourself. You don't need a girl for that. And I understand that, but you're missing a critical and essential point. Human beings are social creatures, right? So as a human being, you need to feel the emotion, to feel like a complete human. You need to feel the emotion of having a girl hug you and kiss you, say she loves you, and she genuinely means it. Like, if you don't feel that in your life, not even one time, what do you think that does to a man's mind? And there are millions of men that are suffering emotionally from this. They're trying to cope, by, buying video games, watching anime, doing other types of hobbies, or maybe you get an addiction or predilections for other types of things. And, you try to drown in your sorrows, drown in your miseries. But at the end of the day, deep down inside, you want a significant other. You want somebody in your life. You want somebody to hug and kiss you and tell you it's going to be all right, you know? And there's nothing wrong with that, because that's just totally normal. That's just part of being a human being, you know? But this world, it would shame people in our position for wanting love, for wanting some type of validation from a female, for wanting some type of relationship. Like, when you're a guy in this position, people want you to suffer. So they don't want you to ever be happy. And if anything good happens to you, then they'll get envious and jealous and try to attack you out of jealousy and spite. Like, these people are real demons, like real demons, like real evil people that their soul is never going to get to the pleroma. They're going straight to whatever hell or whatever, you know, thing that the demiurge have, because there's many hells. There's different types of hell. We're in hell right now, just in a different section, a different sector. There's different sectors and sections of hell, right? But the section that we're currently in, we're getting tormented and tortured daily, nightly, weekly, every second, every minute, every hour. And the pain is relentless, and it's intense, and it's vicious, and it's twisted. And I know all of us go through it, but it's especially hard when you're an African American and you've never known wealth. Like, most of your time, you've known people who, everywhere you go, people frown at you, people have an attitude with you, people think you're going to steal something, people already have some type of negative view on you. It makes life a lot harder, and we have to be extra strong and mentally tough. And I know there's guys of other different skin color configurations and different types of ethnicities, and I understand they go through their struggles and their problems, but let's be real. No one is more not liked than people of my skin color configuration in this world. And it's a sad thing, but it's been going on for hundreds of years. We have proof, we have evidence, we have analytics, we have statistics, we have data, we have all this to conclude that people of a certain skin color configuration, it kind of it makes your life extremely difficult, harder to find jobs, you know, harder to find love, because let's be real, if you're a guy and you're not like if you're a black guy and you're not like the gangster type or the thug type or the type that, turns women on, then you're going to be ignored by black women, because black women want a certain type. And even girls of other demographics, they want to, like, when they want a black guy, they want the stereotypical, maybe the rapper type, maybe the NFL athletic type, They don't want the regular square guy that watches anime, that got glasses, that's, built kind of weird, you know, got a little belly on you, don't have a lot of money. Like, no, that's not what they want, right? Like you have to have a certain swagger about yourself, a certain type of confidence and dominance in your aura, in your aura. But when you're somebody like us, you've been defeated for so long that in the presence of a beautiful woman, you kind of get intimidated. You get intimidated and then you get frustrated because it's like, okay, she's so beautiful and I want to talk to her, but it's no point because number one, you may not have no experience at all talking to females. And number two, if you had experience, that was probably negative. Otherwise you wouldn't be in the situation because the next victory feels the next victory and the next defeat feels the next defeat. So we have to think critically on this, man. If your whole life you've been in hell and pain and agony, the chances of it changing, it's not high. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but let's be real. Realistically, a lot of us will never become multimillionaires, and realistically, a lot of us are probably going to work to the day that we can't anymore physically. And then if you don't have anybody to take care of you, no children, no family, you're probably going to find, if you don't have that much money, you're probably going to find yourself in a very bad position, you know. And life is not a game. Life is not a game when you're homeless and you don't got a place to go. Life is not a game when you have a talent inside of you, but you're not allowed to use it. It's almost like there's something that's stopping you, something that doesn't want you to really be successful in what you want to be successful in. And it gets irritating and it gets very annoying because it's like you have something that may be able to change your life for the ever and for the better. But yet there could be invisible dark forces working behind the scenes to make sure you don't meet the right people. You don't get the right type of love and engagement. The algorithm purposely blocks it so it doesn't get that many views to the right people or whatever. So that person that could hear it and maybe try to change your life never hears it. You know. But it's gonna make sure it's gonna make sure certain people who don't like you hear it. You know what I mean? Like it's just because like when you have haters, you pretty much have fans. Which is crazy because I don't know how you can even garner any hatred when you're just talking about your life and talking about what you're going through. So it's weird. And it gets tough. It gets rough when you're in this situation, dog. Like it's it's extremely painful when you go on a long time without having any type of intimacy with the woman and any type of physical touch with the woman. That does something to your confidence as a man. That fundamentally and essentially breaks your heart, breaks your spine. It breaks everything in your mind, because it's not normal. It's not normal to be in this position, and it's not normal to be a man with no money. It's not normal to be a man with no woman, and it's not normal to be a man that's a full-grown man to normal people to not be married with children. People are going to start questioning your sexuality. Like, what's wrong with him? How come he's not married with children? Most people are married with children, right? And especially if you're like 28 or 31, 35, or whatever, like those are the ages where you probably either should have had kids or be making kids. But a lot of us, hell, we don't even make a lot. Like, hell, we barely make enough money to try to take care of ourselves. Damn, like if something else pops up, if your tire breaks or something like that, or if you're, or hell, if somebody throws an egg at your window or something, like just something random happens and you need to pay some extra money that you weren't expecting, that can bankrupt a lot of people. So imagine bringing a whole nother child into this world and you're not wealthy. I think that's the biggest mistake people do, is that if you don't create assets for your children that you can pass down to your children, you create wealth, you create assets, you create business infrastructures, and you make something that it generates money even while your kids are growing up. And then when they turn 18 or something, you give them control of their own business or something like that, even before 18 maybe. Let your teach your kids about money and business and ownership. Teach them that when you own it, it's yours. So when people need to use it, they need to rent it, whatever. You can lease it out, whatever. It's yours. You own it. It's, ownership is something that I had to be taught because I wasn't taught that, naturally. I wasn't taught to own things, right? And it's very difficult when you come from poverty because your mind is always in survival mode. You're trying to get food. You never have enough money because you're trying to spend it on getting food or getting some type of roof over your head for a couple of days, right? And so you're constantly on the move. You're constantly going through emotional fluctuations, and it's very a difficult life. But what choice do you have but to keep going through? And to keep on trying to hold on to your hobbies, just to hold on to your mind, because that's what keeps you insane. A lot of us would be fucking insane if we didn't have our copes and hobbies. How crazy this world is, how evil this world is, how annoying this world is, how tantalizing it is to just go to some devil and sell your soul, but you know it's a trap. Anything the devil gives you is a trap. Anything the God of the Bible gives you is a trap. Like father, like son. Wickedness in both. I truly wish for a spiritual reconciliation. Indeed. I wish that our souls can be rejuvenated, revitalized, and put in a position where we can win. I'm tired of losing. I want to be a winner. I want to be a millionaire. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I don't give a fuck what they think. I want to be a millionaire. I want the women. I want the cars. I want the Ferraris. I want the Bentleys and the Lamborghinis. You know, I want the Roman orgies on the yachts. You know what I mean? I don't give a damn what somebody else don't want. That's your taste. I have taste. I have swagger of an emperor. That's just me. I may be a poor man, but I got expensive tastes and desires. Like a Roman emperor. Shit. Right? And I know that made some people, oh, well, that's you. You know, I have one life and I don't know what's going to be next. It's probably going to be worse. So I want it all in this life. I want to be rich and successful. I don't give a fuck. I want the most beautiful women with the big fat arse. You know, I want to hit it from the back and make that nanny smack. That's what I want to do. Shit. You know, what's wrong with that? I want to get fellatio with a high ratio. And why is that wrong? Why is that wrong? Because if I was like a Chad or a Tyrone, then everybody would, oh yeah, that's good, man. You like you get respect and dignity. But when you're a guy in this position, just having natural needs and natural wants, natural biological functionalities, just having that, people will attack you for that. But if you were somebody that's attractive and somebody that they can that ass that they kissed, then they'll make exceptions for you. Like people make exceptions for the rule for certain people that they like. Like that's why you got to understand that a lot of the times it's not the message itself, it's the messenger. Meaning that you can say some real shit, but if somebody just doesn't like you because they're jealous of you or something, or you intimidated them, or you said something that, or you opened their eyes to something that exposed them for being a fraud, and all of a sudden they feel like their pride is hurt because you said something, right? And so they go on they go on the attack against you. They wage a war against you, and you don't even know that there's somebody waging a war against you. You have no clue, you know, because you're in your own world yourself, minding your business, dealing with real world issues and real world problems, right? This world is very fickle. Time is very fickle. Time is a very fickle thing. Like I just remember, like, not too long ago. I know, like, as old as I am, but I still remember, like, not too long ago, high school finishing up, and then after high school, the years just flew by. You know, it was crazy. I remember back in like 10th grade. I remember, like, just thinking like, damn, it's gonna take forever to get through high school, man. We're only halfway through. We got 2 more years of this shit. We got 2 more years of high school. We're talking to the homies like, man, this is crazy. We got 2 more years of this bullshit, blah blah blah, And then it flew by, and now that, and I remember talking to him and stuff. The voices, the birds chirping in the background, on the school campus or whatever, and just talking about that. And now that's just a distant memory. Like time just flies. Now I'm an old man. I should be a grandpa at my age. Literally as old as I am, I should be a grandpa. But yeah, I'm being a little hyperbolic. You know what I mean? But still, I mean, it's not far from the truth. You know what I mean? You know, but it's ridiculous, man. It's absolutely ridiculous to be astute and to be astute about this world's foolishness and evil and have nowhere to really go. Like people like us who know the secret knowledge, we have no sanctuary, really. And if you try to make online sanctuaries, you're still going to be, attacked by the algorithm. You know, I was watching Moist Critical, and he made a video on some guy. I guess he was like an animator or something, and he got falsely banned or something like that. But pretty much this guy had to go through hell and high water. But since he's kind of a big YouTuber, he was able to get connections inside YouTube itself, and they figured out what was wrong with his channel. And pretty much what happened is that YouTube uses this artificial intelligence, and what it does on certain channels, it can shadow ban you. And this is documented now. So a lot of people say, oh, this is a shadow ban. But YouTube admitted it itself. And we've been knew this for years. But YouTube can go on your channel and they can put it scans your channel, it scans your videos, it scans your comments, it scans, who comments, how long they watch, what they watch after they watch your channel, what they watch before they watch your channel. It takes all that data and analytics in, and then it scans it through its terms of policies or whatever the heck, and it sees if it matches it. But not only that, there's nuances, because certain channels can get away with certain things that other channels can't. So there's also customizable nuances in this YouTube system. It's crazy. And that's why YouTube is so hush hush and quiet about it, because it's so advanced to the point where if you really knew about it, you'd be like, okay, yeah, I knew you guys were throttling my channel. That's why my channel wasn't able to grow. That's why, you weren't able to get monetized. That's why you weren't able to get, this many views. If you even got monetized, you get any views at all. It's because sometimes YouTube, the AI can flag your system. If you talk about sensitive topics, you talk about certain things that they don't want, sometimes instead of just getting rid of your channel, what they'll do is they'll quietly shadow ban it, meaning that it'll only show your channel to a few people. People will stop getting notifications about your videos. All that happens. It's crazy how this world is determined to censor you and stop you. And not just in YouTube, in real life. If you speak the truth in real life, people are going to go against you. So you got to be a soldier in this life, man. And a lot of us, we survive shit like soldiers. We got PTSD like soldiers. We see demons and hear voices and spirits too. We got demons that haunt us every single day. Seriously. It ain't no delirious illusion or none of that. It's real shit. When you get inside that spirit world, you're going to see hideous beings and demons you ain't never seen. They're going to come up to you and try to torment you and attack you, and they're going to swarm you and try to do everything to you. You got to build an energy shield inside your mind quickly and efficiently and effectively and fight. It's not a game. Let nobody teach you to tell you about, the loving, caring, this God. No, look around. Do you think when the baby, do you know what the African wild dogs are? Like, have you ever watched those documentaries with David Attenborough, the legend, with the nice British voice, right? So you see his documentaries, right? And they were showing like the African, like the African dogs or whatever, the wild ones. And there was this impala that was giving birth. And as it was giving birth, the wild dogs came upon it and just pretty much ripped the belly open as it was it was just disgusting, and I was like, wow, that baby didn't have a chance. It entered this dimension and immediately got devoured by these wild beasts. So imagine in the other dimension, when you leave your body, there's spiritual versions of that they're looking for fresh souls, because when you pass away, your soul's fresh. it's been in the body for a minute, so it's going to feel weird when you leave your body. It's not going to be normal when you pass away. It's going to be almost scary. You're not going to be able to feel the same things as you feel. See, we're used to the physical world. You can pick up your Xbox controller, you can pick up your PlayStation controller, you can pick up that pizza, you can pick up that cheeseburger, you can pick up that ice cream or that milkshake. You know, you can physically touch those things. In the spirit world, it's not like that. There's no physicality like that. It's a little bit different. That's going to scare a lot of people. But what's even more scary is the entities that roam the spirit world that are going to try to attack you. So you got to be prepared. That's all I'm saying. This is a hell realm. Remember, we're not the flesh. We are entities of a higher dimension. The flesh is a prison. We have to remember this. I know when we get used to this human body, we think that this human body is all there is. Or we think it's just this flesh and our blood and bones. No, you are a soul. You are a spirit. You are an eternal soul, a spark from the goddess, a spark from the Aeon Sophia, according to the Gnostic text. Not everybody, though. There's some Hylics and NPCs, and evil people that just love causing problems and strife. And these are the people that will never inherit the pleroma. They'll never find happiness. They'll burn with the demiurge and be destroyed inside the abyssal void. And then go back to the abyssal shadow water, the abyssal waters, the ancient abyssal waters. I truly wish that this world was different. And I wish that we were able to really just be successful and do all of our dreams and the things that we wanted to accomplish. But it's difficult when you have psychological issues, when you have emotional fluctuations, and you don't have no sexual alleviation. You know, if I if I ever was to make it and there was a girl that happened to watch my videos, or maybe she heard my music or something like that, and maybe she comes to a show or something like that, or maybe, I don't know, we meet somehow. It's going to be weird because for people like us, we've been so alone and isolated. We've had to deal with maybe not liking ourselves, maybe not being confident. It's just going to feel weird. Like, my guard is going to be up. Okay, now what does she want from me? She probably wants money. I know she doesn't like me. She's probably going to be leaving by next week. What does she want? Should I just hit it from the back, make that nanny smack, and give her a couple of stacks, or should I, like what's up, Because your guard is up. Like, it's gonna be hard to think about genuine love and developing real relationships with real people. So you're gonna have to always keep your guard up, number one, but also understand when something is real and when something is not. You got to understand when somebody being real with you. Like I said, anybody who's ever cashed at me, Patreon, or, well, I'm finna start my Patreon soon. Anybody who supports me on Patreon, cash apps me, anything like that, I truly appreciate it. And, it's interesting to have people support you like that when they know that you're speaking the real and you're speaking the truth and you're speaking from your soul, you're speaking from your heart. My mind, like, these videos are not filtered. It goes straight from my mind, straight from my heart to the audio. You hear it just as I'm making it. You hear it as I'm hearing it. I don't know what I'm going to say next. I just flow. That's just the way my mind goes. Remember, I'm a schizophrenic. Remember, my mind it operates in a different type of form. It operates in a different type of formation, right? Sometimes I stutter like that because when I'm talking, I'm thinking about all the pain, the pain in my mom's eyes for looking at me like a failure, the pain of never going to prom, the pain of being a grown man that never been on a date, the pain of being a failed rapper that never became a millionaire rap superstar, the pain of just being insane, the pain of just trying to talk and just trying to make a channel and just build something, or just talk about your life, and then having all type of things happen to you. Just trying to maintain, being homeless, being this, going through shit, and just trying to be strong, man, because that's all I have left is my strength and my belief and my talents and attributes, and we got to keep going on, man. We live a very difficult life, and we got to stay focused, and we got to try our best, man, as we go through this battle, you know. But yeah, you guys take care. It's a brutal war out there, man, and it's terrible. You know, it's an evil, sadistic, twisted, wicked world, man. But we gotta stay strong. Peace.